Well, look, Stephanie, about 40 years ago, in my humble opinion, one of the biggest scams ever perpetuated on the public was the low-fat, high-carbohydrate diet. You know, since that national obsession started all those decades ago, type 2 diabetes and obesity have skyrocketed. The things that they were supposed to be preventing skyrocketed. Okay, here's what happened. Human beings only have so much storage for the amount of sugar and carbohydrate that they eat. All right, and that storage facility is your muscle cells and your liver. Insulin takes the sugar that gets into your bloodstream and it puts it in this storage facility, muscle cells and liver. What happens is when you overeat it constantly, that storage facility gets filled up. And then when insulin comes knocking on the door and says, hey, I've got some more sugar to add to this storage facility, the cells, muscle cells and liver cells go, we've got no more room left. And this creates something called insulin resistance. Okay, now this is a progressive circumstance and a progressive situation, so you gradually become more and more insulin resistant as this problem of overeating carbohydrates gets worse and worse and worse. All right? Until eventually, what happens is the cells just shut down, won't allow insulin to act on them, to open up the door and let sugar in, which is what insulin does, and they become almost completely resistant. And then think about what would happen. All that sugar in your bloodstream that needs to go somewhere is hanging out in your bloodstream. What's that called? High blood sugar, aka type 2 diabetes. So type 2 diabetes is just a severe point where we get to with insulin resistance. The reason why so many people are developing diabetes, especially children, is because the insane overconsumption of refined carbohydrates and refined sugars, constantly elevating our blood sugar levels, constantly causing spikes in insulin levels, and your muscle and liver cells, they just simply can't take the toxic levels of insulin anymore, and they shut down. And that's why we've got an obesity crisis, and that's why we've got an epidemic of type 2 diabetics.